If you're new to feeder fishing, you're probably wondering how we manage to maintain accuracy. Now, the direction of our cast is something that once you understand the actual technique, it's just a case of going out there and working on that actually on the bank. But as regards the actual range that we fish, there's a little feature on our reel that we can use to make sure that when we cast in, our feeder is going to be landing in the same spot every time. And that feature is the line clip. Now, the line clip is this little feature here on the outer side of your spool, and what that clip actually does is it enables you to put the line or the braid behind that clip, and it traps it, and that stops any more line or braid coming off your spool. So that means that when you cast your feeder out, if you've got a line clip on, it means that when the line or when the feeder reaches that range, it's got to stop. It's got to stop at that clip. And that means that if you can cast out to that clip every single cast, your feeder is going to be landing in exactly the same spot. Now, there are lots of different reels out there on the market, and I will warn you that there are some clips that are better than others. So if you're going to go out there or start looking at a reel for feeder fishing, then take a close look at the line clip. It's so important in your feeder fishing. You want to make sure that it's a clip that's not going to let you down. Now, some clips do move, some aren't as tight as others. You need it to be tight. So when you're looking at reels for feeder fishing, just always check out the line clip. You don't want to be finding out that that's not up to the job after you've purchased the reel. Now, when you decided on the range that you're actually going to fish, or the range that you want to clip up at, there are two ways of doing it. The first thing you can do, or the first option, is to simply cast a bomb out there to the range that you want to be fishing and just put the line behind your line clip, and that means you can fish at that range for the rest of the session. So you might be casting up to an island, or there might be a feature out there, and sometimes you don't know what range that is. So all I would do in that scenario is put a bomb on, cast the bomb out to where you think you want to be, which is there. I've got my finger on the line, and all I will do now is tuck my line behind the line clip like so, and there we go. That's a nice tight line clip, and that is it now. So every time I cast out now, that line will stop when it reaches that line clip. The best thing to do with this is just to gauge the range as well, so that before it hits the clip, try and make sure you're going to feather it by bringing the rod back so it's really nice and smooth, and that line can't go past that point. Now, the other way of doing it is if you know exactly what range you want to fish. So you might have a favourite venue where you always catch your fish at 25 metres. And if that's the scenario, or if somebody says to you, if you're going to go to that venue, fish 30 metres. Well, by doing this technique, you can't gauge what that range is. So that's where measuring sticks come in. Now, there are lots and lots of different measuring sticks out there. You could actually just use 2 bank sticks, as long as you know what the range is or the distances in between both sticks. I'm using the Matrix ones. They come part of this setup, ready rod bag, and these are 3 metres apart. And all you basically do is clip a bomb on, wrap the bomb around the first bank stick, and then it's just a series of wraps between the 2 bank sticks, and that way that's going to gauge exactly what range you want to be fishing at. So once you get to the range that you want to fish, all you do is tuck the line behind your line clip, and then wind the line back on the reel, and then you know you're exactly at that range that you want to be fishing at. A top tip here is, if you decide to go down the first option, and that is where you just cast a bomb out there to where it looks about right and you clip up, I strongly recommend you then still go to the sticks and measure up what that range is. There's a couple of advantages to that. One of the advantages is you will always know exactly what range you're fishing in a sense of meters, and that's great if you decide to keep a diary, if you're really getting into your fishing and you want to keep a record of how and where you've caught fish on that particular fishery. You're going to have an exact range to write down so that you've got a constant record and you know where you caught those fish. The other reason as well is that on fisheries like this is a commercial, there are carp in here up to 20 pounds. There could be a scenario when you're fishing with a line clip and you've got to take that clip off. If you hook a big fish, because that line clip is stopping the line coming off anymore, if a fish runs and it keeps running and you can't hold it, you're gonna either have to try and stop the fish and just hold it, which means you might run the risk of pulling the hook out and losing the fish, or you could just have to take the line off that line clip so that you can allow the fish to swim further off out into the middle of the lake. If that happens, hopefully you are going to land a fish, but that also then means that you've lost your line clip. You've lost the range of where you hook that fish and where you've been feeding. So by knowing exactly what that range is in the sense of meters, hopefully you've landed the fish. But then that means before you have your next cast, you can then go to your measuring sticks, go exactly to that range because you know what it is, clip up again, and that means that in the space of 30 seconds or a minute, you're going to be bang on that same spot again on your next cast. And one final thing that can help you out in that sort of a scenario when you have to take your line clip off, once I have actually clipped up, I then use Tipp-Ex or Papermate to simply dab the line just behind where the line clip is, and that again is an insurance policy. If I've got to take that line clip off, I will have a white mark on the line, which means that I can quickly and easily go back to that exact same spot so that I know that when I cast back out there, my feeder is going to be landing exactly where I've been feeding. By using the line clip, it's just ensuring that the feeder is landing in the same spot every time. That means that you're building up a bed of bait where fish can come in, hopefully stay, and that means that you can keep hitting that same spot where hopefully you're going to be presenting your hook bait right where the fish are feeding. If you are new to feeder fishing and you want to fast track your learning even more, then you might want to check out our online downloadable feeder fishing courses. They've been put together by myself and England feeder team manager Dean Barlow. I'll put the link underneath. And those courses will help you to really fast track your learning, cutting out all the fluff and just focusing on the things that really matter to improve your feeder fishing. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe to see more videos from this channel. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.